Yo, alright. What's up? What's up? What's up? Ooh, go back. Starting soon. I messed up. Can't do that. That's crazy. Let's do mm, Okay, cool. Wow, and started off on the wrong thing. Alright, so look, peep game. I start these all the time. When I start these, I like to talk about certain things. I do not have the chat up. There we go. Now the chat's actually up. Let's on my phone. What's that? Because I'm gonna be watching a few different videos, I want to have my headphones on so that I'm not talking through my the video recaps. I want to start with this one on Threads. This one on Threads kind of blows my mind. If I'm being honest with you, it blows my mind. I didn't even listen to the whole thing. I just listened to it a little bit, but I wanted to check out or at least talk to y'all about what in God's name. So let's go here. It's a Thread video. I don't have it all the way up, so we're gonna turn the sound on and
Wait.
bong.
Before you tell me that I'm before you tell me that I'm everything that is wrong with women these days, listen to what I'm really saying. Listen all the way through. So I a couple months ago had lost my job and I needed to borrow money from someone until I was able to pay them back. So I borrowed money from my man, right? At the time, my man at the time. And I kind of felt weird about that because he knew I really needed it and he never offered to give it to me. He waited until I asked, and then I basically had to beg because he was, asking me these questions. I don't usually give money out, this whole thing, and it already gave me the ick. Like literally, when he said I didn't even give money out, I was just like,
You
okay, and I was just not finna talk to him.
you needed money though,
I
baby.
was gonna stop talking to him because after that, it's like, if I know you can help me, and if you don't want to, then we're having a little bit of a disconnect, and I'm gonna find a man who will. Like it's not that deep. I was gonna get mad. I was just gonna stop talking to him. But then he decided he was gonna give me. Okay, before you tell me that I'm everything that is wrong with women these days,
The fact that she was going to leave him if he didn't give her the money is crazy. Wait,
women these days, he was gonna loan it to me. So he wasn't gonna give it to me. He was gonna loan it to me. Whatever, cool. I said I would pay him back at the end of the month. The end of the month has come. I've been thinking about it. I have a lot of things I need to get done, and I'm still like really behind in bills because of the fact that I lost my job. So I'm trying to play catch up, and I finally got a little bit of money, right? So he texted me this morning, and he's like, "Oh, has your check still not cleared yet? I haven't received the money," which already is a sassy like way of asking for the money back. But granted, he shouldn't have had to
what
ask.
is on her
I
neck?
should have just sent it to him. So, anyways, I sent him the money, but the problem is right now, like, I kind of have the ick and I don't want to talk to him anymore. Am I everything that's wrong with women these days? Like, because he did nothing wrong and he was actually very helpful. It was a lot of money and a lot of men wouldn't have even, loaned it to me, and he did, and I'm really grateful
So
for that.
you
And I think he's a
understand
great
that?
person. He's going to make whoever he ends up with very happy. I just personally feel like he's not, like, I don't think that this is going to work. Like, not that I was, so he wasn't going to these days listen to what I was expecting. But for him, I don't know what I was expecting. But for him to text me, like, I don't know. It just was like, just the fact of me giving him the money back is weird because, I'm still kind of struggling and I'm still kind of trying to get back on my feet after being, laid off. And so I could really use that. And he knows I could really use that. And he still asked for it back, which he's well within his rights because we did have a deal and he upheld his side of the bargain, but I upheld my, and I did what I said. I gave it to him immediately. No, ifs, ands, or buts. But I'm gonna stop talking to him now, and I've because I just can't even look at him the same anymore. Like I feel like
I'm
I don't
so
know. I can't
confused.
explain it, but like I kind of have the ick.
What is this?
Is it wrong? Is it because I grew up like with men in my life who were constantly doing whatever I asked them to do? Is it because I grew up spoiled? I don't know. Or is it just because I feel like my husband wouldn't have asked for the money back? I think that's where it is. Him.
He's not your husband though, mommy. Like, okay, so here's my problem with this, right? The first thing is it's not wrong for her to not want to be with homeboy after he gave her the money. That's not wrong. All right, I'm gonna keep it a buck, right? It's not wrong that she don't want to be with him after he gave her the money. I don't see nothing wrong with that. Take it how you want to take it. There is nothing wrong with her saying, all right, I got the money. I had to give it back. I don't want to be with him anymore. The problem is she called him sassy. She said, my husband, he not your husband. You can't hold your boyfriend to husband standards because he's not your husband. And you're like, well, if he was going to be my husband, you shouldn't be out here treating these girls you're dating like your wife, because look at her. You just found out. You gave her the money, she gave it back. She's like, well, I don't like you anymore because you asked for the money back. The agreement was the money back. So you just don't want to stand on, he stood on business. I think a man that's going to hold her accountable is a good dude. I think a man that's going to be by his word is a good dude. I think a man that ain't get taken for the ride. A lot of dudes, she said he even knew that a lot of dudes wouldn't even give her the money, which means she knew it was exceptional for him to even do it. And she's still bothered by it. To me, trash. I think, yes, you are everything that's wrong with women these days, because why would you not even take advantage, because she gave the money back. So I won't even say she's everything that's wrong. I'm being extra aggressive about it. I don't think she's everything that's wrong with women. I think she's in her rights to want to date them anymore. But I do think they're bad qualities. I think they're rotten qualities, not spoiled. See, spoiled, people think spoiled is like, oh, you did everything you're supposed to do for that person. That's not what spoiled is. That's not what spoiled is at all. Like, spoiled is something, when food is spoiled, it's rotten. It's rotting. It's not well managed. It's not taken care of. It's diseased. It's decaying. It's literally dying. When you're spoiled, it's not a good thing. Treated well, uplifted, loved on, respected. Those are things that you want to be treated with, right? Loved, treated with respect, cared for, secured. Those are things you want to be. You don't want to be spoiled, right? Because being spoiled is what led her to not appreciate the fact that you had a man who would extend himself financially to support you. She's like, I didn't like the fact that I had to ask. You're not his wife. I think you do need to ask, because I think that line is a good line. That lets you know that he's not out here doing everything for everybody, and that a wife to him, or that his support isn't just given because he likes you. You know what I mean? And he gave it to you with y'all stipulations. Y'all made your agreement. He held you to the agreement, which means he's a man of business. He's a man of his word. He don't go back and forth. You can't sweet yourself out of standing on what you said you're going to do with him. I think dude did what he's supposed to do. I think she's missing an opportunity to build with someone who's probably fantastic. That dude's probably the best thing that ever happened to her, and she's just going to piss it away. And I think that's disappointing. And she's going to realize later, when no man wants to deal with her, why that was disappointing. But hey, to each their own. I give it 2 thumbs down. You let me know what you think in the comments, but I do think that she ruined an opportunity to build with a man that actually did look out for her. He looked out for her under the terms that they agreed to. If she needed the money for an extended amount of time, I think she could have communicated with him. He wasn't like he was without communication. He said, yo, your check didn't hit yet. I didn't see the money. And you sent the money. If you had been like, yo, can I send you part of the money and send you the other part later? I think you could have communicated with him more. But she chose not to. She said, look, I choose violence. Today, we gonna choose violence today. And I think that's unbecoming of a woman he should build with. I think he dodged a bullet. If we being honest, he dodged a bullet on that. Absolutely dodged a bullet. All right, so the next one we're gonna watch is, and I was watching all of these, not back to back, but I sent them to myself because I wanted to see these joints. All right, here we go. Let's try it again.
If there's one thing you wish men understood better about women, what would it be?
Like, when something is fine, it's not fine. Like read between the lines.
You mean be a mind reader?
Yeah, exactly.
So men are expected to be mind readers.
Exactly.
Why do women often expect men to do things that they're not physically capable of?
I don't know. I haven't I don't do that. I don't expect men to do things they're incapable of.
Isn't that what you just said, though? Gotcha, bitch!
Being a mind reader?
Well,
Yeah.
you want us to read between the lines, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this. Who's better at communication, men or women?
Women.
So if men are worse at communication, why do so many women expect men to read their body language?
I think men are better communicators logically. Women are better with communicating emotionally.
Okay.
Okay, can you think of any situation where logic wouldn't outweigh emotions?
I think logic should always outweigh emotion.
Jesus Christ.
You can't make this shit up.
Jesus Christ.
There's one thing you wish men understood.
Jesus Christ. That is stellar. That is absolutely stellar. I love it. I love it. Hold on a second. I love it. When I say I love it, I mean I absolutely love it. You know how great that is to watch her chat, to watch her chat back and forth with that and not make no sense. Do you know how great that is? As a standard, she was like, yeah. But I think they do these things. These are the problem I have with these particular type of videos is that they pick these women and it's this one-off, right? Like she, she wasn't ready for the conversation. She's not thought out about it, and she's just saying what she wants to say. But I do think that uh, that's a general standard, like that happens. That miscommunication or that fallacy, right, in the argument happens a lot. I do think it's a reoccurring fallacy, right? That we want good communication, but we want good nonverbal communication, and it's a skill for people to do that. And I think that asking every man to have this exceptional level of skill in reading his woman's body language and things, I think you can acquire that by spending more time with someone, by building, right? The more rapport you have with someone, the more nuance you pick up on. So things like her having an attitude or her not feeling comfortable, those things are easy to pick up on because you've been around it. So you know when the energy's off, when she comes into the room and she's tired, or she comes into the room and she's bothered, or she's in deep thought. You know what I'm saying? Like you can pick up on those things more easily because you've had the opportunity to build up around the energy of the person. Same thing and vice versa for women. I think that that's something that you have to develop. And I think that for a woman to expect that from her mate off top skips over the most important part of that. And that's getting the time in to learn the person. And you can't expect a deep connection like that just off top. You have to build into that. So I think they sensationalize. Of course, it's entertaining to watch her stumble her words and be contradictorial in her argument. But I think the main thing she's saying is that, she wants her man to know her. She wants her man to pay attention and to know her. And I think that paying attention and knowing the person you're with does go a long way. I think both people, men and women, want that. So it's funny, but it's also pretty accurate. With that being said, communication, something that Dr. Umar said, I found this clip online. It was Dr. Umar breaking down something. Again, it's just a piece of him speaking, but I love it for what the point that he's making, right? And the point that he made makes so much sense. All right, one sec, here we go.
With a woman who,
here we go.
If you're in a relationship with a woman who needs you to read her mind, that is an emotionally immature woman and you need to end it. A woman should be able to tell a man what she wants and how she feels. And a man should be able to tell a woman what he wants and how he feels, because it goes both ways. Whenever you're in a relationship and somebody expects you to read their mind, I observe and evaluate. I can't read, you see. So tell me how you feel. The reason why a lot of sisters would rather us feel them out than communicate to us how they feel is they're afraid of rejection. They don't want to verbalize it because they're afraid it may get rejected. So they would rather you read the mind so they don't have to garner the audacity to tell you exactly how they're feeling. If you're in a relationship with a woman.
Did y'all hear that? Like, did we hear that? Did we pay attention? The end it is crazy though. Do y'all agree with the fact that you should end it if she can't communicate? Do you guys agree with that as the recourse to her not communicating? That's oh my God, bruh. The telling you how you feel, I think the direct communication is necessary, right? But the fact that hold on.
To us how they feel is they're afraid of rejection. They don't want to verbalize it because they're afraid it may get rejected. So they would rather you read the mind so they don't have to garner the audacity to tell you exactly how they're feeling.
So do you think it really is like the accountability thing? They don't want to be, they don't want to get their feelings rejected. So they hide their feelings and want you to silently have feelings so that you have to silently accept them. So that there is no conversation about, there's no rejection. You don't have the opportunity to reject them. You have to respond to their emotion and their emotional state regardless. Which is why he said leave. It's a form of emotional manipulation. I don't know if it's the runaway bothers me. I'm not going to lie to you. I think running away bothers me in the sense of, I think that like, maybe it's the old fashioned in me, but I like the idea of working on us, right? Like, I love the idea of working on us, and it could be a flawed perspective, but I think that like, learning how to make the woman you're with feel secure enough to articulate how she feels. Because say the reason is because she does fear the rejection of her feelings, then I would want to try, at the very least try, at least make the attempt to assure her that her feelings are valid and feeling them is never wrong. How she behaves with those feelings will always be up for discussion, right? You can be upset at me, but I would ask that you respect me in being upset, right? That you aren't malicious in how you bring your feelings to me, that you aren't disrespectful in how you bring your feelings to me, but that your feelings are valid. They're yours to feel, but don't be held captive by them and how you respond to me and how you speak to me, because I never want my woman to feel like she's not allowed to feel anything, right? Because you're right to feel those things, but how you deal with me is the things that I think I'll care about the most, and I'll look at and I'll respond to. So with that being said, I'm a fan of the idea of understanding the lack, right? But if that when you're not raising, I guess it's a fundamental thing, right? If you're a man and you're dating a woman, do you think that at any way, at any time, and you having your woman, you are responsible for building your woman up? Do you think as a man you have that responsibility? Because I feel like if we're gonna be together, we should be helping each other. We should be working on each other. We should be loving each other in a way where we're both getting better. So better for us. So how we gonna work? What relationship are we going? How's our relationship going to work? How are we going to make our relationship better? I think that how we deal and talk to each other is absolutely important in how we're going to build up. So if we're not going to take the time out to build on us, then yeah, we are missing something. Like if she's just going to hold me captive by treating me differently, and by silently feeling things and going through those emotions silently without speaking to me, then we're always going to have a problem. But if she's going to talk to me and we're going to actually have those communications, and she's going to be upset and take her time to talk and bring those feelings to me, or she doesn't know how to do that and I have to teach her to speak to me, I'm not against teaching her. Again, it would depend on how she responded to me reaching out, trying to reassure, communicating. Like how she responds to those things are going to change, are going to dictate how our relationship moves forward. So I don't know. I'm not with the leaving, but I think that assessment is important, because I think that assessment leads to better communication for both of us. But it goes into the same thing with the communication with, reading the mind. I don't think reading minds makes sense, but I think that the reality is that some women are trained to do that, and some men are trained to try to read up on nuance, to pick up on what the woman is feeling. And I think that both sides of that get better with clear communication. Like, hey, I don't know what's going on. I feel like something is wrong. What's up? Which is a little emasculating. I'm not gonna hold you. I think that having to tell someone how you feel all the time in order to set the pretense for them to tell you how they feel, especially if they reject it. If you tell them like, yo, I feel like something's up. Is everything cool? And they go, yeah, everything's great. And then they go on later to blow up or talk to you crazy, or, you know what I'm saying? They go on to have some kind of episode that is out of nowhere, out the blue to you, because you're like, I've been asking if you're okay. Then it can be a little bit like, it can be frustrating. So the mind reading is problematic for me. But all right, let's take our next one. Our next one is going to be, I don't really follow this. So I was watching this joint online a little while ago. I just bumped into this joint. I thought this joint was kind of not cool, but kind of funky. But let's check it out right quick before we'll do this one, and then we'll do Tia after this one. Tia Mowry has a video on Shade Room that I wanted to check out. This is Tiny Queen's video. She made a video about something I want to talk about for a second.
This because this irritated me. I just saw a post where a lady was talking about how she found her soulmate, how her husband just worked overnight, like a really long shift, and he came home and, he was like, hey, I'm really tired. I'm going to order some food. She said, no, I'm okay. Me and the baby already ate. Mm-hmm. And then he was like, okay. So he ordered food, and when the food came from DoorDash, she opened it and she smelled it and she immediately wanted to eat. And out the bag, he pulls out a burrito for her. Like he already had ordered her food. So it made her emotional, whatever. And she's like, I found my soulmate. What bothers me about that is your husband just worked an over OD shift. You ate, but you didn't have no food ready for him when he got home. And you talking about, oh, he thought about me. Why didn't you think about him?
Sheesh.
I can't with these women nowadays, bro. I cannot. You're telling me that you're okay with this man working all day, coming home and catering to you because he's thinking about you, but you can't reciprocate that energy. And then you wonder why these men be so miserable and cheat. I'm not saying cheating is right, but I literally, like, when you're not holding your end of the deal, it's very one-sided relationship. But if it was the other way around now, bro, this double standards be crazy. Be crazy as hell. I gotta talk about.
Yo, Brody, I don't know about double standard, but I will tell you that the idea, I mean, Shorty not lying. She not lying. Is OD for him to be at work all day and then come home and have to. Why is my man coming home and ordering food for you to eat when you been home? Why you not feeding that man? Why you not making that man food? Why that man ain't got nothing to eat? That's why it's wild, but you know what? If that works for him, if he happy, she can't speak on what make him happy. And I mean that, right? Yes, I think me personally, I think that it lacked a certain level of care, but I think that some men would be okay with that, genuinely be okay with that, because even though it lacked a level of care, he didn't require that. He feels more manly, or he feels more seen and accepted when she feels good about the way he takes care of her. That's his thing, right? He feels that. It's his love language. Her being appreciative, her being taking care of the baby makes him happy. Him coming home and the house was clean made him happy. You know what I'm saying? We don't know their relationship. I will say, as a standard though, I think that how you consider the other person is important. I don't think she's wrong for that. Clearly she thinks that, you know, she would have cared for that man differently. You know what I mean? But that's not her man to care for. I also don't know if Tiny Queen has a man, but also the cheating thing. That's funny she was mentioned go straight to the cheating, because I mean, they say in relationships, something that comes up and something they talk about is that you know, like they'll know when he's cheating, he's acting funny when he's cheating. They have this intuition. But how come your intuition don't tell you when your man is unhappy? How come your intuition doesn't tell you when that man is sad, when that man is hurt, when that man is bothered, when that man is not taken care of emotionally? How come intuition doesn't tell you that, right? Why are y'all not paying attention to when he's not good and wanting to work on it? And that was a conversation they were having, right? I think this is similar to it. She said, he got my soulmate, oh, he took care of me, woo, woo, woo. And this woman is saying, what about him, right? She's asking, what about him? I would ask, if that woman is unaware whether or not that man is comfortable doing that, if he feels fulfilled, if he feels appreciated, if he feels loved, if he feels seen, right? Does he feel like he's throwing love into a pit and not getting nothing back? If she's not aware or taking inventory, emotional inventory, she's not temperature checking her man while she's at home not making him food, if she's not checking, maybe that's just the day she didn't do it, right? Because she didn't give me the circumstances on why not, if that was a normal occurrence or it's just today, or maybe it's a newborn baby, so he ordered his own food to give her time to break. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I'll say that if she's not taking emotional inventory of her man on whatever other facet or any other time frame, that she does run the risk of losing her man. You know what I'm saying? Because that's important too. That's important to know. For same thing for men, you should take emotional inventory of where your woman is at. Are you doing everything that she needs? Does she feel secured in your relationship? Does she feel appreciated? You know what I mean? Like, this woman cried about a damn burrito and she ate already. You know what I mean? So making sure your woman feels secure, I think is important. And I hope that, you know, in that relationship, she is securing that man in whatever way he needs to be secured. I hate when people make standards for everybody's relationship, or not that I hate. I just think that it's a flawed perspective to think that every man needs to be loved on the same way and every woman needs to be loved the same way. Your relationship is between you and the person you're with, and it's your responsibility to communicate to each other so that y'all relationship works for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Not so y'all relationship look good to your friends, so y'all relationship look good to Blue 51 when he reviews it online with, you know, Tiny Queen. Like, you want to make sure that your relationship is making you happy, is speaking to your soul, is fulfilling you. You know what I mean? And it's important for that. All your relationships, and all, if I'm being honest, every relationship you have should be weighed on whether or not it's serving you in the best possible way and you're getting everything you need. And if you're not, then that needs to be communicated, especially if you love the other person, the person on the other side of the table. If you have love and admiration for the person on the other side of the table, you owe it to them to be like, yo, what's up? Hey, I need more from you. Hey, I need less from you. Hey, I need to talk to you. Hey, what are you doing, man? I ain't seen you. I ain't talked to you in a while, or we haven't had a conversation. We haven't had a date. Can we do something? Like, you owe it to that person. And if you require someone to just know that, then find somebody that does it. But I think that it's unfair to the people that actually genuinely care about you to not give them the conversation, because some people just need that. But all right, my last one's going to be my Tia Mowry, my little Tia Mowry.
Dynamic of having a mom and a dad in one household.
So I'm going to try this again. I should have unmuted it before I put it. Let's try it again though.
The family dynamic of having a mom and a dad in one household. And when you're dropping your kids off, you actually visually see how that is no longer.
We're about to go to Daddy's house now. Being alone has been the most challenging part of my divorce. It's times like this when I feel and wish that my sister and I were still close and I could, pick up the phone and call her. But that's
The family dynamic of having a mom and
just not where we are right now.
How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm okay.
Yeah, I've been seeing the headlines. I know y'all are going viral right now with the awkward hug. Like, it's so
exhausting.
stupid.
It's exhausting.
I know.
The red carpet video, yeah, about that. This was the first time that Corey and I had ever seen each other on just not where we.
Yeah, I hear a lot about Tia Mowry, and I really don't understand nor really care about what's going on with her relationship with that man. The thing I do care about, though, is that baby saying, her saying, "Hey, baby, we going to see daddy." That's cute as hell to me. I also really, really, really wanted a family dynamic around me and my daughter and her mother to be a family and a unit, because I didn't have that growing up. So a big value for me, a big thing for me was family. If I'm being 100% honest, I want the baby more than I cared about marriage, because I never really saw marriage, so it wasn't a big deal for me. But after having my kid and her mother, I love my kid, I love her mom, you know what I mean? I did want the family dynamic. I did want us to be a closer unit than we are. We still have that unit mentality time to time when we, we get along better. But the space is necessary, and the respect is there, in their moments. But the idea of how it affects your kid and getting emotional and torn up about that, like, I think that kids just need strong parents. And I mean strong parents in the sense of show up for your kid, be present, be available, show love, minimize the shit on their plate. Like, take as much off their plate. My brother, shout out to Green's brother, man. My brother T-Push put me on to this. He was like, you should take everybody, when you're in these broken homes, the child has a plate, and there's going to be shit on their plate. And your job as their parent, specifically as the man in the father in their life, is to shovel as much as that shit into your mouth and eat it so that they don't have it, as much as you can. And I love that analogy, not because I'm a poop eater, but just because I think that you want to, if you love your kid, then love your kid all the way, you know what I mean? And when you stress out the other parent, when you're animosity or you're stressing, being angry, you're keeping it real, it doesn't help your child at all. It's selfish, and it damages your kid. It damages their relationship. It actually damages, when I was in custody court, the judge said this. He was like, arguing with the mother of my child actually damages my child's ability to form relationships outside of her mother and I. Like, she would find it difficult to build relationships with men, romantically and platonically, because of watching me interact with her mother in a negative light. And what blew my mind about that was that he cared more about the development of my daughter than I did in those moments. In those moments, being right, my pride, my ego, how she spoke to me, being disrespected, whatever the case may be, it mattered more to me than 10 years down the line how that was going to affect my daughter. And I didn't like that this man was showing more care for my daughter than I did, because I love my baby to pieces. So I refuse. I refuse to argue and fight with. I refuse to be to create that stress for her as much as possible. Now, every kid that's in a broken home is going to have their crap. It's going to have their stuff. It's going to affect them in some way, somehow. Pay attention and do your best. Her being upset about it is real and authentic, and she's allowed to feel those things, because feelings are valid. But I think that, I'm reading some of the comments of that girl, go knock on Tamara's door. They're telling her to go repair her relationship with her sister, and not worry about her relationship with her ex-husband. Don't worry about being a broken home. Repair your relationship with your sister. I think that in this situation, I agree. I think that keeping the stress to a minimal, coming to terms with the fact that you are in a split household, and your daughter does not have both the parents living together, and that's okay. The best thing you do is keep it amicable, so she can spend time with both of you guys without you changing her relationship or trying to dictate how she loves her father. Let her form her relationship with her dad and be in support in her forming a relationship with her dad, and he be in support of her forming her relationship with you. And as long as you guys are supportive of your child building a healthy relationship with each other, then you'll find your middle ground in between that. But you and your sister beefing, whatever that is, or not beefing, y'all not being close, I really would focus on building that, because I don't know how you go from your entire public identity is based on you and your sister having a good relationship, you and your sister being sister. How y'all not sister in your adult life? Like, I would hate that. Me and my brothers, we had our season where we ain't talk no more, but you know what I'm saying? They live down the street now. Both my brothers live down the street from me. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Red, shout out to Green. You know what I mean? Anyway, man, that's going to be it for the Blicky Lake Show. I just wanted to do a quick recap. I don't do enough talking to y'all, so I wanted to take some time out, rap with the crowd, talk to my peoples, because, you know what I mean? If I'm being completely honest, I don't speak enough time. I don't spend enough time chatting it up with y'all on YouTube, and I don't make enough of these little pods outside of the podcast at the barbershop. So I'm starting to go back to reviewing the things that come up to me on my live feed, just so we have an opportunity to chat a little bit more online. Hope you guys take care of yourselves. Always show love. Peace.